Hello students and welcome to our final module, Module 8 for this class, BA130. This is a short one. We do not have a PowerPoint presentation because this is the finals week. We have the introduction, video lecture, have a little office hours available to you. This is so you can see that we fulfilled the student learning outcomes, SLOs, the homework which will help you for the final exam, and the final discussion as to what's coming next for you. This is the final here, and an end of course survey for extra credit. This is optional. And this is 0 points here because any points above 0 will be extra points if you choose to take that. This is optional. And after that, you are done. So in Module 8, this is what we are going to be doing. We're going to review the student learning outcomes. There's no class exercise this week, only homework and discussion. This is so you can prepare for your final exam. I'll tell you about homework 8 and discussion number 8, and the final exam, which I'll explain in that section. And this is it. Remember to have the study guide ready. The study guide was shared in Module 7. This is what you have learned over these past 8 weeks. You are familiar with business terms. You did a translation and a recording of a business article. You're familiar with glossaries for medical, business, legal industries and where to find them, how to use them. You are familiar with the requirements to become a court interpreter in California. You're also familiar with basic terminology for business and educational forms and health intakes. You are also familiar with the basic terminology for translating a letter from Spanish to English, and you are familiar with the risks of using Google Translate or other translation sites or apps without doing your due diligence. So if you use Google Translate or any other machine translation, you have to know that what it is suggesting is correct. And you're also familiar with the state of the industry for translations and interpreting and the benefits of receiving training in various fields. They all complement each other, and the skills complement each other. Speaking of skills, I have a little something for you that I want to share in just a moment. Something to develop your simultaneous interpreting skills. If you're watching this video, the module is open and the final exam is open. It's available to you. And you have all this week until Sunday, December 10th at 11:59. Some guidelines to take the final exam. You have 40 questions, 20 points each for a total of 800 points. These are multiple choice, true or false, and matching. There are no essay questions. So you just need to be able to know the information, identify the information, but you do not have to write. And all questions are part of the final exam study guide. So be sure to complete the information in your study guide, which was available in Module 7. When you're doing a translation, you're more than likely going to have glossaries, resources. You can ask people around if you're working with others. You can ask the client for clarification. So it's a more realistic situation to have resources available. And of course, this is an online class, and you are allowed to have resources available, including your study. So have your study guide answered and completed before you take the test, because you do have a time limit. You have 2.5 hours to complete the final exam, and you can only take it once. There's only one submission. And once you submit it, that's it. You cannot go back and correct any answers. There are no exceptions. So before you submit your final exam, be sure that you go back, to answer any unanswered questions that you left blank because it was too difficult. And that's one thing I would suggest. If you go through the questions and something is not immediately clear, then make a note on a piece of paper and then come back to it. And then when you come back, look at the possible answers, eliminate the obviously wrong answers, and then make an educated guess. There are no penalties for wrong answers. So answer all of the questions to the best of your ability, even if you have to make an educated guess. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a phenomenal class, working together, encouraging each other in the discussions, praising your classmates' works, comments, etc., and giving each other feedback. And if you're completing the degree or certificate program at the end of this semester, I wish you the best in your career endeavors. Feel free to reach out anytime to let me know how you are doing, and don't hesitate if you have any professional questions that I can help you with. For those of you who are continuing to the spring 2024 semester, I wish you the best in your academic endeavors. I will probably be teaching the next class also online, BA131, so check the course catalog for that. Just so you know, my grades are due to admissions by Thursday, December 14th, and you can check your final grade in your self-service student portal after I post them. Have a great winter break. Now, sometimes there are opportunities to volunteer, interpreting opportunities, and if you would like to, please feel free to send me an email with your name and phone number if you would like me to tell you about these opportunities so you can practice your skills in the community. And one specific opportunity is coming up on Saturday, March 9th, 2024. As it says here, I'm a member of the Santa Ana Lions Club, and we are getting together with other Lions clubs locally to provide a free vision screening to the community. And people come who cannot afford eyeglasses so that they can have eye exams, and if they need them, they get a free pair of eyeglasses. This is going to be in the city of Tustin, and please let me know. Email me with your name and phone number. Let me know if you're available to volunteer, if you'd like to do so, on Saturday, March 9th, 2024. Anytime you're available, we'll start around 7 or 8 with setup and go until about 2 p.m. Do not have to go the entire time. If you can come in for a couple of hours or the whole time, whatever you can is fine. And don't feel overwhelmed. Don't feel that you have to know everything. There will be training provided so that you don't have to be a perfect interpreter to volunteer. And as you can see, this is just a picture of previous events. This is an easy interpretation assignment. You're going to ask questions such as, what is your name? Please fill out this form. Does this image look better than this one? Basic things like that. There's no complicated or intricate medical interpretations you have to do. So it's a very easy opportunity for you to practice your interpretation skills if you so choose. And of course, you and your family, friends, are more than welcome to attend if you need and wish to receive a free pair of eyeglasses, get the exams in there and all that. And again, invite your family and friends to that event. Email me for the location. Now, here is something I wanted to share with you. We started practicing simultaneous interpretation, but in order for you to build your simultaneous interpretation skills, I have come up with 3 different stages for you to do that. The first goal is for you to be able to listen and speak at the same time. This is not natural. And even many professional translators say, oh, I cannot do simultaneous. I like consecutive because I don't have to listen and speak at the same time. It's too difficult. I get confused, right? Understandable. So what I've done is giving you what I have taught others, what I have done myself to develop this skill. The first goal, again, is to listen and speak at the same time. For this, you get any recorded audio, a speech, a newscast, audiobook, whatever you like. Not a movie because it has action and pauses and drama and music, something that is a conversation, a speech, an interview, something like that. All you have to do is repeat in the same language what you hear. Listening and you repeat. Listen and you repeat at the same time. After you can do that for 5 minutes, 10 minutes straight, after 10 minutes, you're going to start feeling a little bit overwhelmed. That's okay. That's the muscle you are building. So after 10 minutes of repeating in the same language, take a break and then come back and do it 10, 15, 20 minutes at a time. Keep practicing repeating in the same language. Then what you want to do is what's called decalage, is lagging behind a few words. So when the speaker starts speaking, around here, 1, 2, 3, 4 words, then you start speaking right behind them. This is called shadowing. So you're following right behind them. Your shadow follows you all the time during daylight. And the goal is to lag further and further behind with subsequent practices until you can lag about a sentence behind. So if these were 3 sentences that the person is saying, when the person is speaking this sentence, you wait, you wait, you wait. When they start speaking this sentence, you you'll start saying the sentence while listening to the next sentence. When they start speaking this sentence, you'll say this sentence while listening, etc., etc. So you lag behind about a sentence. This is all in the same language. Do not interpret. Just practice listening and speaking at the same. The second goal is to convert meaning. Yes, that means interpreting, but before you do that, you want to be able to paraphrase. So when you're listening to this same audio, whatever audio you're doing, speech, newscast, audiobook, you are paraphrasing what you hear. So you say something, you say the same thing with different words. Change the passive to active, you use some synonyms, etc. So you paraphrase what you hear, and what you're doing is that you want to develop that linguistic flexibility of your interpreting, right, in a real life situation, and you do not have exact word for this particular word that they're using, then you're able to have the flexibility to come up with a different phrasing to say the same thing in the other language. And then you interpret into the target language. So you do this first, and you do this, interpret into the target language. The third goal is to build flexibility. This is called dual tasking. So while paraphrasing in the same language or interpreting into the target language, at the same time that you are doing this, you are writing on a piece of paper the numbers backwards from 100 by threes. So as you're repeating, as you're paraphrasing, or as you're interpreting, you write the numbers on a piece of paper. So you're doing two things at once. One is oral, and this one is written. So what this allows you to do is, in a real life situation, you're going to be interpreting and you're going to come across a word you don't know right away. So while you keep interpreting, keep doing this part, your mind is searching, doing a different task, searching for this word in your memory bank, literally your memory bank, while you keep interpreting. So this dual task is going to help you with that. After a while, this is going to become easy. After you practice for a few days, a few minutes at a time, writing the numbers backwards from 100 by threes, then it's going to be easy. Then you do this. You start doing the same thing, paraphrasing or interpreting while writing the numbers backwards from 100 by sevens. This is a little taxing, right? This is a little thinking that you have to do while you are continuing the interpretation. And that's it. These are the 3 stages to build your simultaneous interpreting skills. Next section is the video lecture, where this video is going to go. In here, I am offering final exam office hours on Monday, December 4th, 2023 from 3 to 4 p.m. In case you need it, this is optional. Or if you just want to drop in and say hello, I'll be going into Tech Connect, into Zoom on Monday from 3 to 4. And if you cannot make that time and you have questions about the final, feel free to email me with a couple of options during the week, usually during the day when you're available, and I'll try to make it work. In order for you to join at 3 or during this time, click on Tech Connect on the left, and you're going to find this meeting, and then just click Join the Meeting or use this link right here. This is to answer any questions you might have about the final exam. This is not to discuss any of your individual assignments or your grades, only to review any questions that you might have regarding the final exam. And I just gave you some tips on how to prepare for the final exam. These are the student learning outcomes. So this is what you've done. We have identified interpreter and translator career opportunities, the requirements to succeed in related careers. We have demonstrated proper grammatical use of business, legal, medical, and educational terminology, both English and Spanish, interpretations and translations. Translate and interpret basic forms and letters used in business, legal, medical, and educational fields. And you understand and identify the responsibilities of interpreters and translators related to conduct, civic duties, and the code of ethics. So, did it. We have completed our student learning outcomes for this semester. Homework number 4 is to review the tilde diacritica, so that you're going to have this self-check quiz to understand the differences in usage between porque and porque, me and me, etc. All these uses of the accent mark, tilde diacritica. On the discussion is a what is next? What are your plans for the future as a career in interpreting and translation? So go ahead and please answer these questions. Number them as you have been doing. And especially number 2, what has been your aha moment in class when you perhaps realized you wanted to become a code interpreter instead of medical interpreter or school interpreter, or you realize, no, I don't want to go into code interpreting, etc. And anything else you enjoyed. So go through here. Also number 3, go back to discussion number 1, what you posted in the introduction, and comment if anything has changed from then till now in terms of your goals. Go through these questions and answer them, and please reply to 2 of your classmates as you have been doing. Know the due dates, Friday for your post, and Sunday the reply to at least 2 of your classmates. And thank you to the people who have been replying to more than 2 of your classmates. Thank you for going above and beyond the minimum requirement. The final exam is here. Again, multiple choice, true or false, and matching. 40 questions, 20 points. You only have 1 attempt. Again, once you hit submit, you cannot go back. Do not leave any answer blank because you'll get 0 points for that question. There are no penalties for wrong answers, so answer as many as you can. And the deadline to take and complete the exam is Sunday, December 10th at 11:59 p.m. The Canvas course will close at 11:59 p.m. on December 10th, even if you're in the middle of taking the test. So do not wait until the last minute to take your final exam. This is an end-of-course survey for extra credit to see how you did, how I could help future classes better, etc. So I'd appreciate it if you take this survey. The answers are anonymous. I can see who completed the survey, but I cannot see answers because they are set as anonymous. I would appreciate everyone's participation, and I will give you the points manually on December 11th. And that's it. You are done. This is what we have completed over the accelerated semester. So thank you very much for investing in yourself in your educational journey. It has been a wonderful pleasure to have you in class. I look forward to crossing paths with you in the near future. If you decide to volunteer, I'll see you on March 9th. If not, best of luck to you in everything that you do. Have a great winter break and stay safe. And remember that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with 1 step. And your first step in this wonderful career of translation and interpretation was this introductory class, BA130. Thank you and have a wonderful week, wonderful winter break, and I'll see you around.